The material in this program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. November 15th, 2009. "16:9, the bigger picture."
Transgender kids trapped inside the wrong body, and the controversial doctor who treats them.
I was never really feeling that this gender that I had was right.
You can't deprogram anybody. It doesn't work.
It's the safe haven in southern Louisiana for those displaced by Hurricane Katrina. Canadaville, as it's been dubbed, had offered hope for the future. Only now, the future has arrived.
What are we going to do? We walked away from all that tragedy.
We need not only to help the people of New Orleans, but particularly people who have been living in poverty for a while.
That's all coming up on 16:9. Here's Mary Garofalo.
Hello and welcome to 16:9, the bigger picture. We live in a world of pink and blue where gender is the first identity you're given at birth. So imagine if your child came to you and said that they were trapped inside the wrong body and that they wanted to be the opposite sex. Tonight, we bring you an incredible story of some truly brave children who've lived in the shadows until now.
Hello everyone, it's Kim, and I just wanted to let you know that since today I've got Twitter.
Kim Petras is pretty and sweet, but by no means your average teenager. A rising pop star in her native Germany. This singing sensation with flowing blonde locks and piercing blue eyes represents sugar and spice and everything girly.
I was always wanting like pink toys and Barbie and dolls and stuff, and I always wanted to wear the dresses of my sisters.
Except Kim Petras wasn't born a girl, she was born Tim Petras, a boy. And today she holds the distinction of being the youngest person ever to undergo gender reassignment, commonly known as a sex change operation.
I think it's great that I got it so young, and with having the surgery with 16 was really, really great.
She says her gender confusion started at the tender age of 3. She hated being a boy, and her parents thought it was just a phase.
When I turned 5 or something, they were like, okay, this isn't a phase anymore. It was really terrible dressing as a boy and, being called Tim and all this stuff, because I always wanted to live as a girl, and so it was really hard for me.
Her parents began taking her to therapists, and Kim's biggest fear was the onset of puberty.
I really was, every day waking up, I was scared of having a lower voice or suddenly growing a beard or something. So they just didn't like to see their child really unhappy. And so they went to the doctor with me, and I got the hormones really early, and I'm really happy about that.
To stop her from developing male traits, she continued to take female hormones for 4 years, and she didn't want to wait until she was of legal age to undergo a sex change operation.
It wasn't allowed at all to get it under 18 here in Germany, so I had to go to tons of psychologists and, beg them to do it earlier and stuff, and they all saw that 2 more years of living in the wrong body would be really difficult for me.
Then, in a move that would shock most people, her parents and health officials granted Kim permission to undergo a sex change operation at 16, a procedure that would hospitalize her for weeks, reconstructing her male genitalia to female.
When I got the surgery and I woke up, I felt like I was right, and this was my body, and I could feel comfortable in it. I was so happy finally being able to be self-confident and liking myself. I'm getting all dressed up, and I know that the heels are hot.
Today, Kim is on the fast track to fame. She's just signed a record deal and has a boyfriend. She says she's exactly the person she wants to be.
I'm really dreaming of becoming a singer, just Kim Petras singer, and maybe then somewhere in the sentence is transgender.
And Kim says she hopes she can be a role model to other kids who suffer from gender identity confusion.
Of course, I'm a big supporter of treating children at an early age. I don't think that it would be a good thing having a surgery with 10 or something. I just think that this whole process made me who I am today, and it made me really strong, and I'm really happy about that.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Amani.
And halfway around the world is another 8-year-old little boy, also fighting to become a girl.
This picture is one of your new ones.
Joseph was the Ramiro's firstborn son, the apple of his father's eye, named after his dad. But his parents have made the difficult decision of allowing him to be raised as a girl, now named Josie. Mom Vanessa says it all started at age 4.
She stopped getting her hair cut. You know, she wouldn't wear boy clothes. She'd always choose like the orange shirt, things like that, because it was the closest to pink.
At first, she and her husband Joseph, an Air Force engineer, thought it was just a phase, until one day, Vanessa says, she walked into the bathroom to make a shocking discovery. Her little boy was trying to mutilate his genitals.
I caught her in the shower one day with a pair of nail clippers, and it horrified me. So we've made a deal. I've promised her that I will keep her safe and allow her to express herself outwardly as she wants if she'll just not harm her physical body.
So Vanessa started researching on the internet to learn about gender identity disorder. She was determined to help her child transition from boy to girl, starting by allowing him to dress as a girl outside the home.
She would dress in the girl clothes after school, and she could play outside after school in her girl clothes. She would pretty much correct us anytime we spoke. She would let us know, I'm your daughter, or no, I'm a girl, things like that.
The family was stationed at an American military base in Japan at the time, and they say they were stunned by the degree of cruelty they endured.
They circulated a petition in the school to keep Josie off campus. Things were being thrown at us as we approached the classroom, like from people's lunch pails, things like that. It was not a good time.
The family was later relocated to Tucson, Arizona, where they finally made contact with a psychologist who would help them understand what was happening to their son. He recommended, just like Kim, puberty blockers, drugs to prevent the start of male adolescence.
The only thing that would really frighten me is to see what testosterone would do if it ravaged her body. If she developed an Adam's apple or facial hair, she would be devastated beyond belief. She couldn't even survive something like that.
And she'll get those puberty blockers once she turns 12. In the meantime, Josie is being homeschooled. According to Vanessa, their local public school refuses to allow Josie to enroll.
I think that the principal is afraid of having irate parents on his hands. I think he's afraid of the backlash, or like this, the media.
As for Josie, she is aware someday she will need surgery to become a woman. Both Josie and Kim represent a trend in the treatment of transgender identity disorder. But there are those who criticize, saying children as young as 3 are being labeled far too early.
I think a lot of people are misdiagnosed.
Walter Hayer is deeply disturbed by this trend. He knows firsthand he underwent a sex change operation only to regret his decision.
In my own kind of view, I think it's even borders on being child abuse.
Coming up on 16 by 9.
The controversial doctor who has enraged the transgender community, and the man who says he was pressured into a sex change operation.
That's next.